Hello and welcome to Monsterama 2021. My name is Darin Bush. I am the director for the media track this year at Monsterama. Before we get going, I want to do a special shout out to Anthony and Suzanne. I want to thank them for letting me play in their sandbox again for another year. You have joined us for the movie Zeroversary watch party, the before half of the 3 is a Monster Number pair of panels. And that's going to take a bit of explaining, which I will do in just a minute. But I want to allow our fabulous panelists to introduce themselves. I'm going to start by picking on our resident recreational dragon. Ellie, if you'll introduce yourself to our fabulous Monsterama audience.
Hi, I'm Ellie Rain. I am author of the award-winning fantasy series, The Necroching Chronicles. I write about Reapers, Ravens, and Royals.
Excellent. And then next, I'm going to pick on the other person with hair. Am I allowed to say that in this day and age? Kelly, go ahead and introduce yourself to the Monsterama folks.
Hi, my name is Kelly M. Frank. I am an artist at morbidsmileart.com, and I also am a horror author.
Excellent, excellent. And then finally, but also finally, our friend Kyle, introduce yourself, please.
I feel called out here. I am Kyle Mitchell, published poet, 2 books of poetry you can buy online. I'm a distinguished Toastmaster, and this year the second to Mr. Darin M. Bush, the professor. So number 1, not number 2. As what my role is, I think, this year for him.
You could tell we didn't rehearse anything here. You could tell we're making this up as we go. And again, I'm Darin M. Bush. I am a science fiction and fantasy short story writer. I have some stories up on the Amazon Kindle site. If this panel convinces you, I might have something written down that's worth reading. The other thing is that let's just get right into this. And I think that's enough with introducing myself here. I want to let everybody know that what we're doing is we're pre-recording this before Monsterama 2021 weekend, which is October 8th, 9th, and 10th. I believe it's monsteramacon.com. Go check it out. And please join us, because what we're going to do is the 4 of us are going to talk about 3 movies that I've picked. I've put them together in a wacky theme. This year's theme is 3 is a Monster Number, which is a little bit of a hint. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about these 3 movies, and then we're going to spend the time between now and Monsterama weekend watching those movies. What we would like to do is have you join us live for the second half of this panel at Monsterama, at the convention in person, and join us in the audience. And we would invite you to watch these movies and come join us and talk to us about what it was like to watch these movies, even if it's not the first time. So having said that, let's go ahead and let me jump right in. And the reason it's called 3 is a Monster Number is because all 3 of these movies that I've picked are the 3rd in a series, which may or may not be well known to you. So we have a mixed group of panelists relative to experience with monster movies and horror movies. So we'll see how this goes. It's always a lot of fun to do this. So I'll ask the panelists now. Do you want me to give you the whole list now, or you want to just be surprised 3 times?
I want to be surprised 3 times.
Yes.
Really? Okay.
I mean, extra surprises. I'm
Draw
here
it
for.
out.
Again, no rehearsal. You can tell. For those of you who've seen previous versions of this panel system, I have accidentally done homework for the before panel. I didn't do any homework at all for the before panel. I'm so proud of myself. I didn't accidentally watch the first 15 minutes of any of these movies. All right, so let's see. Where are we going to start? Let's start with the 3rd movie in the Jurassic Park series. Dun, 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 dun. So this is the attack pack, the adventure pack of Jurassic Park. In here is Jurassic Park 3, and that is the movie that one of the movies we're going to be watching. It is 20 years old this year. That's how it ended up on the list. Now, as we have done before, if you feel the need to watch the first movie and the second movie and then watch the 3rd movie, that's up to you. But really, we're going to be talking about Jurassic Park 3. So what I want to do is spend a few minutes doing essentially exactly that, which is, and I think I'm going to pick on Kyle first, and I'm going to ask, have you seen this movie?
Is that the one with the shirtless Jeff Goldblum?
I thought they all had shirtless Jeff Goldblum in them.
Just checking. Just checking.
Listen, any of them. Did I miss this? Did I just blank it out of my memory?
I hope not.
How dare you? He's a national treasure.
Remember.
I thought that was Nicolas Cage. Anyway, let's go back a second before we completely derail in the first 2 minutes.
I have seen Jurassic Park 3. Yes.
Okay. And can we confirm Jeff Goldblum shirtless, not in the movie? Like my response before I realized you were kidding was, I don't think he's in the movie at all.
No, I think it's right. He was in 2. He
was in 2.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think 2 is the one where he's shirtless, or maybe that's the original. I'm blanking.
Well, that's why we don't do any homework for this. It's so much fun to watch us thrashing around going, wait a minute, hold on. It's been 18 years, but I swear I've seen this movie.
And I may not have seen Jurassic Park 3
I don't know.
18 years ago.
Okay, so for those of you playing along at home, make sure you write down a note that Kyle has to comment on Jeff Goldblum and his shirt condition when we do this live at Monsterama for the after watch party panel.
He's going to be the Jacob of he just
Yes.
can't keep his shirt on.
You gotta get a poster of it so you can just display it for us. And so Exhibit A.
Yes.
C, D, and E.
Yes. I just want to know who was the first person to say to Jeff, all right, in this scene, just make sure your shirt is open. And he's like, what am I, William Shatner? Get out of here. Okay, all right, I'll do it. So
now I'm curious.
So Ellie, do you think you've seen any of the Jurassic Park movies?
I for sure have.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to either watch it when Josh is not home or apologize to him if he happens to be around while I'm watching it. Dinosaurs are one of his recurring nightmares, which is ironic because my daughter loves dinosaurs.
What?
Oh.
Namely velociraptors, because they are very scary. So, I wouldn't call that irrational, right?
Well, velociraptors are prominent in the third movie also.
Yep.
I mean, aren't they kind of the main thing of the series?
Yeah, they're velociraptors. Yeah. I mean, it's like T-Rex is the guy that swoops in at the end and goes, "This is why you paid the money." But the velociraptors are really working it the whole time. They're like, we're the workforce.
Yeah, they're definitely nightmare fuel because they get under your skin because of how freaking smart they are.
Yes, they are really scary smart. I want somebody in the audience to do like a little meme where it's Jeff Goldblum with no shirt going, "Hi, Kyle," and underneath that is the velociraptors going, "We're shirtless the entire series."
Remind me after this. I can make one.
Okay, all right. We've given Ellie homework
I have
very early.
There we go.
A bunch of velociraptors with his black leather jacket. That's what I want.
Oh, that'd be nice. All right. So Kelly, what about you? Have you seen this movie?
You're gonna hate my answer because I went through a phase where I was obsessed with Jurassic Park movies. Like I've read all the books, I'm obsessed with the movies. I've seen all the Camp Cretaceous TV shows. I've drawn these dinosaurs. I regularly meet kids at art shows where I'm selling prints of these dinosaurs. So yeah, I'm gonna be that annoying person who's like, actually, all the dinosaurs are female. I'm gonna be that annoying person. I'm sorry.
Can I get away with the joke Velociraptor she her? Can I get away with that joke, or is that
you totally could?
Because we're recording this, so is it too late?
As long as you recognize that the T-Rex is like the baddest queen in the whole series. I mean, that is true.
It is too bad that the T-Rex's arms are too short to go.
Oh yeah, she can't put her crown on, but she can she can stomp around and roar dramatically. But I will say that this is like one of my least favorite movies in the Jurassic Park series, so I will have some hot takes.
Excellent. Okay, Kelly, we loved that answer. I hate to disappoint you, but we around here we like it when everybody's got a different perspective. It makes it less boring. I guess is the word.
Oh boy, I'm gonna be that person.
Yeah. So maybe I should do full disclosure and say that I was I was a dinosaur fan when I was a little kid, and it never stopped. I was like, I was really tempted. I was really tempted to get all my dinosaur models and toys and woodcuts and plushies and just have dinosaurs all over the place back here. But that would have given it away. So
that would have been a dead giveaway.
A little bit of a hint, but yes, I think I own a half a dozen Triceratops because Triceratops is my boy, girl.
Yeah,
whatever.
Triceratops should have gotten more screen time. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Didn't Sarah get a lot of screen time? You know, from The Land Before Time.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Sarah was my favorite character in that. So.
Okay, which one was Sarah?
Triceratops.
Oh, Sarah, right? The Triceratops.
Yeah.
So we're.
God, that's why her name was Sarah. I never put that together. That's amazing. Yeah. I love it.
But also, we're continuing Ellie's ongoing theme of finding the Sarahs in every movie that we talk about.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize, although that's not Jurassic Park 3. So yeah, this Jurassic Park 3 is, I think it's the first of these movies that doesn't come with a Michael Crichton novel. Lost World came with the movie barely scratched the novel.
He wasn't intending to write a sequel, and then he just sort of like wrote one because he needed that money. So,
well, we got
you do what you got to do. You get your paper how you get your paper.
We don't get a lot.
If you look at what Crichton has done to television and movies, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So Kelly, since you're our resident expert, did Jurassic Park 3? Hold on, don't panic. So I remember the first Jurassic Park having this huge impact on the culture and the movie scene, and they broke several rules and they invented technology for this movie. You know, Spielberg.
Yeah.
And then the second one came along, and everybody kind of went, "Oh, yeah, okay, all right, okay." And then the third one came along, and people kind of went,
Yeah.
Right? Is it your impression?
That's basically it. The people that kill it are basically some of the supporting characters. You'll find out there's really annoying people doing really dumb things for no stupid reason, and that's kind of a theme, but they're leaning into it real hard. There's no reason for them to be back on this island except to have a plot. So
that's probably why I don't remember much of it.
Yeah.
What's weird is I remember the cardboard cutout giant movie poster.
Oh yeah,
that was right outside of the theater room that I was walking into. So I definitely know that I saw it because I walked into the theater, but I don't remember anything about it.
Well, they got Sam Neill back for this one.
Right,
and Sam Neill is always a joy, but everyone else is very much not. So there's not even any Jeff Goldblum in this, so I'm sorry in advance.
And that's, I think, why I love the second one.
I mean, he might actually appear. I can't remember if he makes like a little appearance or not. If he does, then I will expect a shirt like analysis.
Even if he's testifying in Congress, or whatever.
Yeah, maybe a little picture of him, like, "We miss you, Jeff," that kind of a thing.
I have a piece of his shirt right here.
Sam Neill has a pin-up calendar with him on it. It's just him laying shirtless on the table.
Oh my gosh!
For every month.
So the Ian. Go ahead, Ellie. Go ahead.
What if the cover of that calendar was his shirt, and as you lifted it up, it revealed a little bit more?
Oh, it's like an accordion calendar, and you put it all together. DIY.
I didn't realize what I was going to unleash on the world.
My money.
Yes, the Ian Malcolm of the month calendar.
Right. So if I'm remembering right, was Laura Dern back in number 3 as well, or just Sam Neill?
I don't think so.
Because a lot of people didn't like the second one, and then they kind of brought back the original cast in the third one.
I don't want to spoil that for you because fans were pretty mad about that aspect, and I think you'll see why. There was a lot of anger. I remember a lot of anger associated with this movie, so I sense the fan tears in this movie, and you'll be able to smell them when you watch it. Smell the fandom tears.
So salty.
Oh, so salty.
Yeah. And they did. I think, for some reason, I think I remember the second one, but the third one is kind of vague. It's been a while since I've watched the third one.
There's a reason for that.
Well, yes. We're not up to flashbacks yet, but we're close. I remember that the third movie was trying to be a little bit more entertaining. I don't know, like I'm not sure what exactly was going on with like the T-Rex looking in on the little girl through the bedroom window and then like not eating her. It's like that. I have this vague sense of there's a T-Rex in the swimming pool and a little girl at the bedroom window, but it was like, what was the point of that scene? But we'll see.
I had completely forgotten that scene. Yeah, that scene was there. It existed.
Is that Jurassic Park 3? Am I remembering that correctly?
I think that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how much of an impression that movie made on me as someone who's like watches all of these. Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this. This will be fun.
So I'm hoping one of the reasons why I like the idea that the theme of this panel is 3 as a monster number is because I really do want to talk in the after panel about how these series work as you build from 1 to 2 to 3, because I am not convinced that the first movie is better than the second movie or the third movie, depending on the series. But Jurassic Park does a good job of kind of setting the tone for how these long sci-fi series work.
Yeah.
These, because the first Jurassic Park movie was Jurassic Park, hello. And then the second one was kind of, as I said before, it kind of went like this. Pretty much like you would predict.
Yeah, so I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that sometimes it's more of an afterthought of, oh, this was way more popular than we expected. We should probably start making something else. So then they have to try and build upon what they already had, but they didn't have a plan starting out. Whereas with How to Train Your Dragon, they had the plan set out since the beginning. So they already knew where they were going to go with the whole trilogy. So I think that's a big part of why some trilogies work much better as you go up rather than going down.
Yeah. Because How to Train Your Dragon was a almost perfect example of how to plan a trilogy, and how to build within each movie and have a larger build that covers all 3 movies. Like Jurassic Park 3 did not make me want to go back and watch the whole trilogy in like marathon Saturday setting, right? That's what I remember about 3 is you could just kind of ignore it, which is unfortunate because it had a T-Rex loose in San Diego. I think it was San Diego. So it's like, Jurassic Park in San Diego, T-Rex in your backyard. Like the 8-year-old in me was going, that's going to be awesome. And
yeah. Well, that scene was awesome, but a movie's more than just a scene. You know what I mean? You got to have plot, all that pesky stuff.
Yeah. But also, one of the things that Jurassic Park 3 did really well that I will compliment it on, if I remember correctly, again, it's been a while, is that there were several characters who walked onto this Jurassic Park world for the first time and went, oh, yeah, we sedated it. And all the people that had been in the first 2 movies went, really? Have you not been paying attention?
Right. Like this movie was a little bit more self-aware, than the first 2. And I like that they didn't just jump the shark and like go immediately into space, okay, now it's dinosaurs in space. But
Jurassic Park,
the kind of King Kong thing where you bring them to, land, and stuff. But bad idea.
Yeah, it's always a bad idea, but gotta do it.
Yeah, I just Kyle have this image of velociraptors on the ISS, the International Space Station. Please no. Jurassic Park
Velociraptor astronaut suits. Oh
gosh, yeah.
I mean, and actually in space, that's where you want to fight them. Like they probably wouldn't be as fast in space.
They're so cute.
Their little legs.
Their little tails and a little space suit specially made for their little tails.
Yep. You know what? If anybody out there is making fan art based on the silliness of this panel, please let us know.
Yeah, I need Velociraptors in space. Like that's
Velociraptors in space.
Yes, and the Jeff Goldblum calendar. We need that too. That's
Jeff.
important.
Yes, I would buy that one just to support the process. All right, guys. Any parting shots on Jurassic Park 3 before we transition on to the next the next third movie?
What did the cover have? Am I remember? Did the cover have like 3 claw marks on it?
Yes.
It did. It did. That's what I remember about the cardboard cutout.
Yes. Yeah. I remember that too. And
it is literally. I mean, it's literally Jurassic Park.
It's like you could hear that sound.
Yeah.
You can hear it.
I
You
love
hear
this
that
kind of
picture.
marketing. You know how the Hollywood comes up with those marketing ideas for
Yeah.
each of their sequels and how they're going to show them. You know, I love
Yeah.
that stuff. And so, if you're going to make some art for the calendar, and Ian Malcolm is not in this one, maybe you have him facing away, but then 3 claw marks in his shirt.
In the back of it,
That would be-
taken away.
Excellent.
We're coming
Excellent.
for you, Jeff.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's the claw
Okay.
mark.
All right. We got 2 more movies, guys, but I'm glad we're having fun here. So what I want to do is transition now to the third movie of our 3 movies. Yeah, right. That's right. And so the second movie is also 20 years old. It is also one of my favorite monster series, and it is Tremors 3. Dun, dun, dun. And Tremors 3 is Return to Perdition. If you remember from the first Tremors movie, Perdition was the fictional town that was stuck in the middle of this huge plot valley that they couldn't escape from because there was, again, from the first, there was one road out of this fake valley around Perdition, and the monsters were on the road, so they couldn't escape. And Agatha Christie is going, very well done, very well done. So, okay, so let's go around the horn again. I'm going to pick on Kelly first this time. Have you seen Tremors 3?
I have, and my story for that is actually funny because I first saw that when I was like I'm 40. I saw that that whole series when I was pretty young, I think. My mother is big into gory horror, and she'll just let it play on the background while she's having a conversation about cooking recipes and stuff. And so the blob will be dissolving someone, and she's like, "Have you made this?" And that's how I saw Tremors first. This movie was while she was talking about something, and people are being murdered in the background. I was like, "Is that a Tremors movie?" So that's all I remember from this is my mother telling me about planning recipes for Thanksgiving while people are being murdered in the back. So that's it.
Excellent. That goes along
great.
the lines of the dinosaur story. And of course, there's people watching this video right now yelling at the screen going, "No, it's not Perdition. I misspoke. It's Perfection. I'm sorry. It's back to Perfection. Not I was thinking of some other movie, I guess.
I mean, it's close enough.
I got the first 3 letters and the last letter right. What do you guys want from me? So Ellie, what about you? I'm pretty sure you've seen the first Tremors movie recently.
Yeah, because it was in a panel.
It was in a panel.
That was my introduction into Tremors.
Yep.
And then when I started watching Tremors, and Josh was like, "You've never seen these movies?" He about lost his mind because he loves this movie series. So.
So did you make it to 3 yet?
No, we haven't done anything else except for the 1. So he's going to be really happy that we're going to do another one.
Yeah. And this is another one of those series where I would strongly recommend watching the first one. First of all, because of this overarching story and the recurring characters, but also because it's really just a great movie. It is one of the best B movies ever. The first Tremors.
Yeah. It is.
I'm going to leave it up to the panel to recommend or not recommend the second one as necessary to watch the third one. I have no opinion one way or the other, but yeah, I would recommend watching the first one if you haven't already before you watch the third one. I don't think the second one is as key to understanding it, but the third one is, we say series. I should clarify really quickly. My answer is I'm pretty sure I've seen the third one. It's been a very long time if I have. They are up to 7. I think the 7th Tremors movie came out within the last year or 2. So I own 5 or 6 of them, including the third one, and it's been forever since I've seen it. So Kyle, what about you? Have you seen Tremors 3 Back to Perfection?
Tremors 3 Back to Perfection sounds like my second honeymoon. I use your imagination. Or don't. You really don't. You really don't want to. I don't remember. I don't know if I've actually seen the third one. I thought that I had seen all of them except for the most recent one at some point or another, even if I fell asleep at some of the really bad ones. But I honestly don't remember if I've seen that particular one, Tremors 3. So we'll see. It's probably as soon as it comes on the first 5 minutes, I'll be like, oh, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you okay, so would anybody like to volunteer to give us the basic overview of the Tremors universe? Anybody? I'm going to pick on Kelly here
Sure. I mean, monsters underground attack people, and Burke is awesome. That's basically what I remember. I remember Burke having I think his name is Burke. Is it Burke or Bert? Anyway, he's really cool, and he has like an amazing arsenal, and I knew so many dudes that wanted to be him and really obsessed over his character. But I've seen Tremors 1 and Tremors 2, and I saw the most recent one, and then that's it.
Yeah,
so
Michael Gross.
While I was babysitting, so that's the only one I know. So
yeah, it's Bert, right? Michael Gross, the gun nut.
And he's back
Bert, is that it?
Related.
Yeah. I've seen that. I have feelings, but I won't bring them up here.
Michael Gross, the dad from Family Ties. I mean, he does such a good job being an old. I love him in these movies.
And Reba was his wife, right? In the
first one,
yes.
Reba McEntire.
And she did like the song for the end credits, if I remember right.
Yeah,
because I remember being like, "What?" Like that was. I mean, it's really like a pretty star-studded cast for what it is. Like, those kind of movies don't usually get that kind of. Reba McEntire did. I mean, and she was at the height of her career, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Like that was the '90s, wasn't it? I can't remember.
It was, yeah.
Well, it was.
I don't know, man.
The first one would have had to have been the '90s. The third one came out in 2001. It's 20 years old this year, but I forget exactly what year the first one was. So for two things. First of all, Kevin Bacon recently apparently announced that he's willing to do another Tremors movie, which I was
That's his name. I can never remember
Kevin
his
Bacon.
name.
Yes. So so you'd think after the sixth Tremor that someone would do the 6 Degrees of Separation or 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. The words, they're not coming today. If the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon joke, I don't know if we missed it or not with the sixth Tremors movie, but for Ellie's information, and for those of you who aren't familiar with the whole Tremors series, one of the things that they do is in every movie they add a twist to what they call the graboids, which sounds like one of the worst names for a monster ever, and it was actually in universe, it was a joke. You called them what? I mean, it's like it was so great that they hung a lampshade on that, like almost every movie. So the graboids, they would come in and they go, oh, we know what we're doing. We've experienced these monsters before, and then they would find out they were a little bit different, and then they had to figure them out again. So it's like every movie they get more complicated or different, and it's like if you've seen the first Tremors, you don't know the rules for the third movie.
Okay.
Just because you watch the first two doesn't mean you know the rules for the third one, which is actually kind of interesting.
Cool. That's actually good. That makes me happy.
To actually continue watching everything.
Well, that's kind of where I was going. Is I know that your husband will appreciate being able to show you the second one and the third one.
And since we can't see the new Dune movie yet, this is kind of really close.
Right.
With kind of like
Close enough.
Yeah.
But you know what's actually kind of scared me recently? There's some videos of people talking about how we don't know where eels come from. You ever heard this? Like
what?
Scientists still don't know where eels come from. They come from some deep pocket under the Atlantic Ocean or somewhere, I think. And
that's freaking wild.
But the way that they reproduce, they actually don't know. And that kind of reminds me of Tremors like this, kind of these eel-like, snake-like monster things, but living in the desert, not in the ocean.
Yes.
So I'm psyched for this, whether I actually saw it or not before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. I love anything with like monsters and gore, and Bird is awesome. I love him, so I'm here for it. I mean, he's going to be entertaining no matter what. Yeah,
this is a movie that is a series of movies that are trying really, really hard to relive the classic kind of monster movies. There's several moments in every Tremors movie where they do monster cam, where like the camera is in the dirt or it's in the whatever the other things are. I'm not going to give it away. So it's just the camera going like this underground, and and it comes up out of the ground, and there's a person, and then suddenly the person screams. Yeah, it's old school. It's old school. No, not showing the monster, sound effects, editing tricks, and just scaring the pants off of you with nothing.
Yeah, it's got big Jaws energy, doesn't it? Like, kind of that idea of the creature that comes out of nowhere and using a lot of sound and stuff like that in empty spaces. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, the graboids create all kinds of problems for people who are trying to figure out what they are, which you should probably just turn that part of your brain off for the third one. But there's like that moment where the ground does that thing where it goes like this, and the monster's coming because the ground is rippling towards you. And I'm just sitting there going, okay, yeah, it's very Jaws-like, because it's there, but you can't see it. And you know what's about to happen, and it's kind of scary. But there's that moment where you go, well, why doesn't it just like dig a little bit deeper? Why doesn't it just go like down a foot so you can't see it coming?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't know.
Darren.
Do what? Say again?
Because cinematography, like, we need to know. The audience needs to know. That's why.
That's right.
Yeah.
But like, I think for me the difference between Jaws and this would be more just, I wasn't afraid of the desert because I didn't think sandworms were actually going to come out of the ground and, kill me. But with Jaws, I am terrified of the ocean, partly because of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Partly. Same with Anaconda. And of course, Arachnophobia. Those movies just
we don't talk about arachnophobia.
Ruined me.
So Ellie, are you saying that when you travel to the Midwest, you're not afraid of being attacked by a monster?
I am not. No.
Okay. All right.
Maybe a snake, but not a giant sandworm.
Right. Yeah, that's a second Dune reference in 10 minutes. That's excellent. Several of us are jonesing for the new Dune movie, and if we have to watch Tremors to get our fix, we will watch Tremors to get our fix.
Have you seen that trailer though? That's
yes.
It's fire. I'm ready for it.
So for those of you who are also waiting to get your sandworm fix, we're planning on doing a Dune panel at Monsterama. So if you're sitting there going, "Oh yeah, Tremors, Dune," I went there with Kyle. Then please join us for the Dune panel, assuming we get it on the schedule, which we should. Anyway, okay. So anything else about Tremors other than, I will say one follow-up thing, which is I just am amazed that they're on the 7th movie and they're talking about an 8th movie, right? It's like Tremors just is the golden child of B movies right now. I don't know where they're getting the money.
Josh was excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, if I have to choose between that and Sharknado, I'm actually better off with Tremors. That's just me, though. I mean, it's got more practical effects. At least I remember it having more practical effects. I can't, I don't know. That's just me, though.
Well, I only want an 8th movie if it's going to be like Oscar-winning actors playing all the characters.
So you want Tom Hanks in this?
as the alpha graboid.
Yes, I was going to say Tom Hanks needs to play one of the graboids. He can do it.
Yeah, I'm sure he could. He can work with a volleyball as his like co-star. He'll be fine. Yeah.
Or who knows? Maybe they are all female. Meryl Streep.
Get Meryl Streep in there. She could do it. Hey, why not both? They can have a fair and balanced kingdom. It'll be fine.
With her 23rd nomination for Best Actress.
That's right.
Meryl Streep, Tremors 8.
I would die if someone got an Oscar nod for Tremors. That would be amazing. Just imagine the speeches.
Well, my hope is that the next Tremors movie will get an Oscar nomination for like practical effects.
Oh yeah, for that.
Makeup effects, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know if Tremors ever got an Oscar nom for anything. There's always wishful thinking, but
yeah.
It's possible. No, the first Tremors visually still holds up.
It does.
They didn't overreach. They didn't get crazy. They knew exactly what they were doing and trying. They knew what they were trying to emulate. I thought they did it really well. I thought they made a poof of sand and some noise really scary.
Yeah.
Did Jurassic Park 3 get an Oscar nod? I know the first one did.
I'm pretty sure they all three of them got nods for special effects and
So if
stuff
Jurassic
in
Park
that
3
category.
got an Oscar nod, then we get to knock that hard.
Okay, so here's
I got it. I feel
here's what
much
we'll
better
do.
about that.
Here's what we'll do. So Kelly's homework is to come back with knowing what all the Oscar statuses of all these movies are, so that we can do difficulty of the dive. All right, Jurassic Park 3.
Awesome.
You failed. You didn't earn that Oscar nom.
It's going to be a test after this.
So now, speaking of leaving not perdition but perfection, we're going to go to the third of our third movie today. Was that correct? So I saved the best for last, and Kelly, I know you're new to this. Let's see how Ellie and Kyle react to this one. The third movie in the original Planet of the Apes series is 50 years old this year.
Oh, wow.
So Escape from the Planet of the Apes is the third in the original series, which started with Charlton Heston. I am pretty sure that if I have seen this movie, it's been 50 years, or I may not have seen this one. We've had a lot of fun here at Monsterama talking about Planet of the Apes over the years. We've talked about the first two movies a little bit in prior panels. Please check that out. But this is the third one, so I'm going to go with. As I said before, I'm pretty sure I don't remember this one or haven't seen it. Any of the three of you think you've seen this one?
I know I've seen all of them because my brother, my buddy, and I we watched, did a whole marathon of all of them on VHS tape in order, circa probably around when was it, 2000 or something like that. And I don't remember the plot of this, but clearly Escape from Planet of the Apes is apes in space. It's clearly where this is going.
Kelly, you were going to say something?
Oh no, I'm just like I'm familiar with this, but I don't remember what it's about. I can't remember if this is the one where they're like in the human world either way, or if like they're on Earth and then they have to do stuff or what. All these movies run together for me, but Roddy McDowall is a joy, so I'm here for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think it's great that Roddy McDowall stayed and kept coming back for more. So Ellie, have you seen the third one? Just make sure I check with you before we move on here.
I don't remember.
Okay, all right, that counts. And again, Monsterama audience will probably be familiar with how iconic the Planet of the Apes series was, starting with the first one, and just all of the cultural references and the iconic moments and all of the great science fiction storytelling from the first movie, which built this series. I have the box set of the first 5 movies all in one set. That's where this comes from. So I'm that person who every time we talk about Planet of the Apes, I'm contractually obligated to say, read the book. The book is amazing.
Oh.
I don't want to give away the ending, but it is one of the best endings of a science fiction novel ever. Like I know 15 different properties that later stole the twist ending, but I think Planet of the Apes is where that particular twist ending came from. I think that's where it was invented. So the book is fabulous. Goes into a lot more detail and depth, of course, because it's a book. So I recommend that. Now, having said that, I have no idea what we're in for with the third movie. So Kyle, you said you watched all 5 of them? Did you want to talk briefly about?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, did you want to talk briefly about your feelings about the Planet of the Apes series and what I was just talking about with the impact?
Oh yeah, I absolutely loved it, and the twist ending, of course, from the movie, even though it's a different twist than the book, right?
Yeah.
But still great. And then as you go through the series, then they kind of do. I know there's at least one prequel that shows you how we got to that point, and the time when the first ape spoke, human like English. and stuff. I remember that, but I don't remember where that is in there. If it's the fourth, the fifth, sixth, where that is, and so. But if it's, I don't know, you can't say with sequels and trilogies, a lot of times it's bigger and better. It's more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
But for this franchise, it's almost the opposite, right? It's like thinning out and survival and how they
Mm-hmm.
deal with that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit different take of a lot of franchises and trilogies and series.
Yeah. In response to that, I would be interested to see if there's of course, there is a discussion online about what the best order to watch the original 5 is. Like if maybe kind of like what they do with Star Wars movies is should you watch the fourth one and then watch the first one? So there's probably a discussion out there about what order you should watch those movies in, because they do kind of pretzel twist the story a little bit in there. This is another one. I made this comment earlier about, I think it was Tremors. This is another one of those movie series where the first one was just so huge that there's just this wave that went through. No offense, Monsterama, but the second Planet of the Apes movie was not as good as the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get away with saying it that way? Anyway, so there's this huge impact and this huge audience for this movie. I mean, this is big. 50 years ago, this is big, shocking science fiction. Holy cow, are you kidding me, on the big screen? And so a lot of energy and a lot of potential with the next 4 movies. And I thought they did a good job of creating this really amazing universe.
Mm-hmm.
Whether all 5 of the movies are good representations of the original piece, that's an argument. Kelly, were you going to add to that?
So I will say that the only reason I went and watched these movies was I watched the first one because my dad said it was required watching when I was a kid. So that's what I watched. Because we're big sci-fi horror fans in my house. The other reason I went and watched all of them was because I was a big fan of Batman the Animated Series. Roddy McDowall voiced the Mad Hatter, and I went back and was that person who looked up all the actors of characters I liked and watched all their stuff. So these is all kind of running together, but I do remember that Planet of the Apes had a lot of really interesting social commentary. I don't know if it holds up well now because I haven't watched all the other ones except for the first one in a very long time. So I'll be curious to see how that works out. If it's going to lean hard into like the I don't know, the sci-fi angle, or if it's going to lead into the social commentary angle, or where it's going to go. I don't have any idea. So this will be fun.
No, that is a very good point. I mean, Planet of the Apes is a series that takes the science fiction tool of taking a moral discussion and putting it in a setting where you kind of get tricked into participating in the morality discussion,
Mm-hmm.
because they're walking sentient apes, right? And they're in charge of the planet, and the humans are the slaves. So they flip it upside down and they kind of sneak up on you, and then suddenly you realize you're sitting there going, "Wow, this is something that like emotionally is important to me,
Mm-hmm.
morally is important to me." So the first movie does a great job of that, and I'm hoping, as you said, that they continue to sneak up on us with stuff like that in all of the movies.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I hope they do that too. So
yeah, absolutely. So Ellie, how many of these we made you watch the second one at one point, didn't we?
Yep. And at the time, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I did see all the movies when I was a kid, but I'm not entirely sure if I actually watched them, because I remember falling asleep for a lot of them because I was like, I don't know, 7 or something. I was super young, so I don't remember anything about them. I just remember that my now father-in-law had all of these VHS tapes of them. And so he was like, you have to watch these. These are amazing movies. They're classics. So that's what we did. We would watch them until like super late hours in the night with his family and everything. But I distinctly remember phasing in and out of the entire thing because I was so tired from it. So, going back into watching just the second one for these panels, I don't remember how many months ago it was, but months ago, when we just watched, me and my husband, the second one, I was really confused, but intrigued, because they don't actually, like, the second movie does not go into any recapping pretty much at all.
Mhm.
There's nothing. It's just an immediate jump into where they left off with the first one.
Mhm.
So not having seen the first one recently, before then, I didn't know what was going on. There were just some random people on a horse walking around talking to this talking ape on what looked like a beach. Statue of Liberty was just like, the head was just kind of there. And for whatever reason, the guy just went, no! And I didn't get why. But I did remember that scene from Spaceballs.
Oh, no.
And I remember myself going, that's where they got that from. And my husband just going, ugh.
Oh.
So yeah, so Ellie reminded me I failed at one of my moderating tasks here, which was to let everybody know that we need to discuss. Do you need to watch the first one in order to get the third one? Yes, I think I would recommend watch the first one. Unless you're very familiar with it, watch the first one in order to be able to understand the world that exists in the third one. I'm going to ask the panel: can we skip the second one and go from 1 to 3?
Well, I need to know this. I need to know that because, I mean, I still have not gone back to rewatch the first one, and I don't remember anything about it. So should I do that?
The first one, absolutely.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
But I think, Kyle, we're going to have to rely on you for this answer. Is can we skip the second one and get the third one? I'm guessing we can.
I would, as I recall, I think probably you could, but as from our last discussion about the sequel, it kind of played with turning the first one on its head a little bit,
Mhm.
and so I think the third one picks up a little bit different of a story and not just right where the second one left off, if I'm remembering right. But you shouldn't rely on me.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna watch 1, skip 2 because I've already saw that recently, and then go to 3. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I felt myself getting ready to say, well, it can't hurt to watch the second one.
It can hurt my wallet.
hurt your wallet, yes. So speaking of wallets, any last ideas or comments about Escape from the Planet of the Apes being 50 years old, and we're gonna watch it before Monsterama? Any parting shots on this before we transition?
I am so excited for this.
Excellent. I'm hoping that I will remember some of it, but we will see. Speaking of wallets, as Ellie brought up, I want to, as we begin to wrap things up, I want to let everybody know that we are, because of streaming services and everything, it is possible that you can find one or more of these movies on your favorite streaming service. I'm aware that not everybody has all the streaming services. We could do a whole panel on just that sentence.
Mhm.
But I will tell you, if you are interested in playing along with us, YouTube has, I checked, YouTube has all these movies for rent. And I believe that the price is very reasonable. So I know I'm asking you to spend money to play along with us, but it's actually, the rental rates are pretty reasonable on YouTube. If, like me, you're fortunate enough, I promise I didn't pick these movies because I already own them. I promise. It was,
Sure.
it was serendipitous. No, it was serendipitous. Don't do that, Ellie. But yes, please load up the DVD or the Blu-ray or the VHS, Kyle, if you have to go back that far. Get on the streaming services, poke around, see if you've got access to these movies. Please watch the movies and join us. As I said at the beginning of this party, that we will be doing the second half of this discussion at Monsterama live on the weekend of Monster. Remember, monsteramacon.com. You'll have the schedule, and the 4 of us will be there. Go, and three of us will be going, Darren, what the heck did you make me do? and I will have no guilt about that, as per usual. All right, guys. Anything else about any of these 3 movies or the series or anything before we pay the bills?
I don't know. I'm excited to
I'm
watch
excited.
them.
Yeah, me too.
I'm here. I'm excited. It's great.
I think this is interesting. I don't want to jinx it, but sometimes when we do this, somebody, usually it's Ellie, finds some kind of wacky way to connect these movies together that nobody was aware of until we actually started digging into them. So I'm like really hopeful that we'll find some interesting coincidences behind the scenes on these 3 movies or these 3 movie
Including
series.
3 Sarahs.
Yeah.
we'll
Yes.
get Sarah's.
Right. So Ellie, your homework is to come back with all the Sarahs in all of these movies, because
You
they're there. We know they're there.
The actors' names.
Yes.
Here
And
we go.
I'm pretty sure in Jurassic Park 3, I think Velociraptor number 8 was played by someone named Sarah. I'm not
Perfect.
I can't prove that, but I'll let you figure that out. All right, guys. Well, then let's do this. Let's go around the horn and remind all of our fabulous Monsterama, patient and fabulous Monsterama participants, people watching the video, especially those that are playing along. Let's remind them who you are and how they can find you on the interwebs. I'm going to pick on Kelly first this time.
Okay. Again, I'm Kelly M. Frank. I am a horror author and I'm also an artist. You can find me at morbidsmile.com. Morbidsmile.com.
Excellent. Kyle?
You can find me on social media at Poet Kyle. If you're interested in my books of poetry, you can just Google my name and find them on the publisher's website, lulu.com. And I changed the name of the other. It used to be iUniverse, but you can find it lots of places online for order.
Excellent. Ellie?
Again, I'm Ellie Rain. I am author of the award-winning fantasy series Necroseam Chronicles. You can find us at the website necroseam.com. That is necroseam.com.
Excellent. And I kind of jumped the gun in my introduction, but I am, again, Darin M. Bush. My short stories are available on the Kindle on my Amazon page under it's over here, under Darin M. Bush. There it is right there. And also, I am going to be doing a lot of panels, I hope, doing a lot of panels at Monsterama. We've also got Conjuration coming up in November that I'm involved with. And for this particular recording, we might be able to get this out before DragonCon. So I'm hoping I'll see some of you guys at DragonCon also. But this is Monsterama. And again, thank you everybody for participating in watching this recorded silliness here. We are going to see you very soon, I hope. So thank you everybody. We're going to wave and smile, guys. Say goodbye.
Bye.